Teacher, I
Okay.
was 9. Just in the month of August, I will be 9.
You will be 9. So, okay, in August. So soon. Your birthday is coming soon. My birthday was last month, on May 3rd. And yeah, this month was my sister's. This month was my sister's birthday, the 16th. And my dad's birthday is also in August. Who's here? Radha, Orkan, Gam. Okay, if you can, I would like you to turn on your camera so I can see you. Okay. Today we will use our workbook. Let's wait a bit more because we are still not a lot here. So let's wait to see if somebody else join. If not, we will start the class. Let's say we will start in 2 minutes, okay? We will use the workbook, so prepare the book and your pencils. Minsan Songkran Tool. Orga, how was your weekend? What did you do?
I made gyoza.
What again?
Gyoza handmade.
Oh, you cook it gyoza?
Yes.
Is it hard?
No, we fried it.
No. I know it's fried, but is it hard to cook or no? Is it hard or is it easy to cook? Your mic is.
It's good like it came from a restaurant.
Ah, okay.
And it's handmade. I made it.
You made it yourself, right?
No, with my dad.
Okay, with your dad. Yeah, I've tried gyoza before. It's really tasty. Mm, who else? Namon, what did you do what did you do this weekend? You stayed at home, you visit your family. What did you
Stay
do?
at home.
You stayed at home? Yeah,
Yes.
nowadays me too. I didn't go anywhere. Poon, what did you do this weekend? Poon, looks like you don't feel like talking too early, right? Ah, okay. Mm, okay, it's 9:05. Okay, let's start. Let's slowly start our class. I'm going to share my screen again. Today we will use our workbook. Let me know when you can see my screen. Okay, 5 more are joining us. Okay.
มันก็บอกให้เรียนได้แล้ว
Okay. Welcome everyone. Welcome and Sam. Welcome to the ones that just joined our class. Today we will use our workbook. We will start at page number 5. We will cover page number 5 and page number 6. If you remember, let's recap a bit on last week, last lesson. Last week, we talked about adverbs of frequency. Remember these words that tell us how often something happens. We have never in one of the extremes and always in the other, and in between we have some other words like, for example, usually or sometimes, and there are some other words, but I think we cover only these main 4 words, like always, usually, sometimes, and never in that order. Always being 100% of the time, usually being 80% of the time, sometimes being we do something about 60% of the time, and then never means that we don't do a specific activity we are talking. So we are going to review that today, and we are going to complete some activities to review adverbs of frequency. Let's go to page number 5. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So let's take a look at the first activity of the day. What we are going to do is to first we are going to read the dialogue. I'm going to read first, and then we are going to read together. And then, like I told you before, we are going to complete this chart. As you can see, we have the adverbs of frequency in these columns: always, usually, sometimes, never. Remember, always means 100% of the time. Usually means about 80% of the time. Sometimes means that we do something about 60% of the time. And finally,
At
never means like
5, I finished, teacher.
at no. Okay, if you finish, you can take a look at the next one. Okay, if not, uh, yeah, just wait a bit so we can all complete this activity. So I was saying never means at no time. And then we need to complete the lines. We can also call this each row with the places where Olivia goes. So again, we are going to read the dialogue first, and then we are going to write the places and mark where Olivia, one of these kids, goes. We are going to write the places in this list, and then we are going to mark with a tick if she goes to that place always. For example, shopping mall. If she goes to the shop, if she always goes to the shopping mall, you're going to write a tick inside the box. If she usually goes to the shopping mall, you're going to tick in this box, and we're going to do the same for sometimes only. So again, I'm going to read first, pay attention, listen, and then we are going to read together. Jane says, "What are you doing?" And then Olivia answers, "I'm going to the shopping mall with my mom. We always go on Saturdays." And then Jane asks again, "What stores do you go to?" And she replies, "We always go to the bookstore first. I love to read." And Jane asks again, "Then where do you go?" Then we sometimes look at the shoes in the shoe store. And Jane asks one more time, "What do you do next?" Next, we usually have a snack in the food court. And Jane asks one more time, "Do you go to the supermarket?" No, we never go there. Now, let's read together. Let's read together from the beginning, okay? I want you to read with me. I'm going to read first one more time, but then when I stop, I want you to repeat, okay? Okay? Repeat after me. What are you doing? Can you repeat that?
เปิดไมค์แล้วพูดตามทีเชอร์ค่ะ
What are you doing?
Okay, everyone. Again, everyone, what are you doing?
What do you are doing?
I am going to the shopping mall
I'm going to the shopping mall.
with my mom.
With my mom.
We always go on Saturday.
We always go on Saturday.
Everyone reading. We always go on Saturday.
We always go on Saturday.
Okay. What stores do you go to?
What store do you go to?
We always go
We always go
to the bookstore first.
to the bookstore first.
I love to read.
I love to read.
Then where do you go?
And where are you go? Where, not what.
Then we sometimes
Then we sometimes at the shoe.
look okay, wait.
At the shoes.
Look at the shoes
Look at the shoes.
in the shoe store.
In shoe store.
I want to see everyone reading, okay? I'm watching you. I have the camera, so I want to see everyone reading. Okay, what do you do next?
What do you do next?
Next, we usually have a snack.
In the food.
Again, from the beginning. Next, we usually have a snack.
Next, we usually have snacks
In the food court.
in the food court.
Do you go to the supermarket?
Do you go to the supermarket?
No, we never go there.
No, we never go there.
All right, perfect. So what we are going to do now is to first complete this table with all the places where Olivia goes to. Okay, so we know that the first place is the shopping mall. We need to complete all the rest of the places where she goes to. Okay, so and then after that, we need to tick in, like I told you at the beginning, we need to tick in the right box. We need to use these words, remember these adverbs of frequency, to tell if she goes to these places always, usually, sometimes, or never. So let's take a look at number 2 together, and then I will give you some time so you can complete the activity on your own. What's the second place after the shopping mall? Where does she go? After the shopping mall, where does she go? Base it on this dialogue. After the shopping mall, where does she go?
ตอบเร็ว เขาไปไหนต่อ หลังจากช้อปปิ้งมอลล์ไปไหนต่อ
Bookstore.
Okay, so we are going to complete with the name of the place where she goes to in this column. So let's complete number 2, 3, yes. Complete 2, 3, 4, and 5 first. And then take a look and read the text again. I want you to tick in the box, the right box. If she always goes to the bookstore or the shopping mall, we are going to tick in these boxes. If she usually goes, you are going to tick in these boxes. And the same exercise or the same logic to complete sometimes and then. I'll give you a few minutes so you can complete this column, the first one, with the names of the shops. And then we are going to take it. Okay, shoe store. Take your time as usual, pay attention to the spelling and make a nice, pay attention to the handwriting, okay, make a nice Make a nice letter as well.
Teacher, food court.
Number 4, let me see. Okay, food court.
เอเชียในสีได้
ข้อสุดท้าย
When you go to the shopping mall, what's your favorite store? Where do you like to go to?
Supermarket.
You like to go to the supermarket?
Yes.
Why?
For candy and food. For light.
You like to go to the supermarket?
Yes. And
Why?
and buy some snack or candy.
I
And food
know what you,
salad.
yes, I know what you want to do. You want to buy some snacks. And what about the food court? Do you like going to the food court?
Yes.
Yes. And do you like to go to the clothes stores? Or you don't like going shopping? What about the PC stores or technology? Do you like going there? Hello, good morning. Please unmute your mic.
Supermarket.
Supermarket. Okay, looks like supermarket is the favorite. So you only want snacks. Okay. What's the next or what's the last place that she visits? Supermarket. Okay, let's complete supermarkets in the 5th row. So we have shopping mall, bookstore, shoe store, food court, and supermarket. So we know that these are the places where she goes to. And now we need to tell how often does she goes to each of these places. We have always, usually, sometimes, or never. So let's start with the first one, shopping mall. Who can tell me how often does she goes to the shopping mall? How often does she goes to the shopping mall?
ใครตอบได้ไปเขาไปบ่อยแค่ไหน มี always usually sometime แล้วก็ never จะตอบว่าอะไร
Read the text. Always. All right. It says here, as you can see, we always go on Saturday. So we are going to tick this box, always. When you finish, take a look at bookstore. How often does she goes to the bookstore?
Always.
Let me see. All right, always as well. So let's make tick in the box. Now, how often does she goes to the shoe store?
Sometimes.
Let me see. Okay, then we sometimes look at the shoes in the shoe store. So let's stick in this box.
Never.
How often does she goes to the food court?
usually
Supermarket. Usually. Never.
Let's see.
Usually.
Next, we usually have a snack in the food court. So usually is the right answer.
Next, never.
And then how often does she goes to the supermarket?
Never.
Never. She never goes to the supermarket. So now let me see if I ask you, how often do you go to the shoe store? How often do you go to the shoe store? Always, usually, sometimes, or never? How often do you go to the shoe store? Or how often do you go to the supermarket? Always, usually, sometimes, or never? Never? You never go to the supermarket?
Yes.
Okay. And what about the rest? How often do you go to the bookstore? Not a lot. How often do you go to the bookstore?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay. They have really nice in the shopping malls. Sometimes they also have a really nice bookstores with a lot
No,
of.
teacher. I go to the toy store. It usually.
Okay, you usually go to the toy store. Okay. So yeah, when we go to the shopping mall, usually they have these huge shoppings for these
No,
huge
bookstore is a
these
outlet.
huge bookstores and these huge toy
Usually.
stores as well. It's really fun to walk there. And they also have these huge technology shops where you can buy computers or you can buy cell phones or anything related with technology. It's really fun for me to go there. So let's take a look now at the second part of the activity. What we need to do is to mark true or false. True or false. So who wants to read the first sentence? Raise your hand. Let me see.
Me.
Chris, okay, number one.
Olivia. Away go to the shopping mall on Saturday.
Sunday. Okay. So number one, Olivia always goes to the shopping mall on Sunday. Is it true or false?
False.
Why?
Oh.
Why is false?
Saturday, not Sunday.
Okay, she goes there on Saturday, not Sunday. So let's mark false. Who wants to read number two? Raise your hand. Let me see.
We always go to
Who's reading?
first. Go to the food court. First.
First, okay. Olivia always goes to the. Okay, Poon, you have to wait a bit, or you can take a look at page number 5. Okay. So number two, quiet. Number two, Olivia always goes to the food court first. Is it true or false?
False.
Is it true or false?
False.
Why? Why is false?
Yeah, go to food court. These are sometimes.
Yes, but the question says other thing, or the sentence. Olivia always goes to the food court first.
No.
Is it true or false?
False.
Why? Why is false?
No, she go to the bookstore first.
Perfect. She goes to the bookstore first, so it's false. Who wants to read number 3 now?
She never go to the supermarket.
She never goes to the supermarket. Is it true or false?
True.
Let me see. Okay, yes, it's true. She never goes to the supermarket. Who wants to read the next one, number 4? You have a volunteer?
She sometimes look at the shoes in the shoe store.
Okay, she sometimes looks at the shoes in the shoe store. Is it true or false?
True.
True. Great. True. We can use our chart here to help us complete this activity. Who wants to read number 5? Number 5, any volunteer? Nope. Okay, I'll help you.
Usually go to the food court.
Okay, perfect. Olivia usually goes to the food court. Is it true or false?
True.
True. And we have the last one. Who wants to read the last one?
She always go to the bookstore.
All right. She always goes to the bookstore. Is it true or false?
Bookstore. False. True.
Is it true or false?
False. True. False.
True or false?
True.
True. She always goes. We can take a look at the chart. She always goes to the bookstore. So true. Let's stick in true. Okay. So remember, these words, always, usually, sometimes, never, are called adverbs of frequency. The important thing is that we use these words to tell how often a person does something. For example, how often does Olivia goes to the shopping mall? She always goes to the shopping mall. How often does Olivia go to the shoe store? She sometimes goes to the shoe store. Or we can also say she goes to the shoe store sometimes. Okay, so remember, we use these words, adverbs of frequency, to tell how often a person does something. Always, usually, sometimes, or never. Always means 100% of the time. Usually means about 80% of the time. Sometimes means about 60% of the time. And then never means at no time, 0% of the time. Okay, did you finish? Did you finish this page? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, let's go now to page number 5. Okay, let me move this here. Okay, so now what we need to do is to use these adverbs of frequency. We need to use these words. We have the same exact adverbs of frequency, always, usually, sometimes, never, to complete the sentences based on you. Okay, so for example, the first one, you're going to read the sentence first, and then based on your own calendar or your own habits, you are going to use these words to complete the sentence and tell me how often do you do this activity. For example, I read books on the weekend. How often do you read books on the weekend? You always read books on the weekend. You usually go read books on the weekend. You sometimes,
please.
yes, you sometimes read books.
May I go to toilet, please?
Yes, Poon, you can go. You sometimes read book on the weekend, or you never read books on the weekend. Okay, so you have to read each of these sentences and then complete based on your own habits. Okay, use these words always, usually, sometimes, never. To complete each of the sentences, I'll give you, let's say, about 5 minutes. So you can write and complete the sentences on your own. Again, here there is no right or wrong. So pay attention, please, to the spelling. Pay attention to the spelling and to your handwriting. Make a nice letter and spell the word correctly. So again, complete the sentences using some of these words. I always, I usually, I sometimes, or I never read books on the weekend. Do the same for number 2. Well, from number 2 to number 7. And then let me know once you finish. And I will ask you some questions, okay? So I'll give you 5 or 10 minutes to complete this activity. Again, pay attention to the spelling and to your handwriting. You can start and let me know once you finish, and I will make you some questions.
teacher ให้นักเรียนนะคะให้นักเรียนเติมเอา always usually sometime never มาเติมใส่ในข้อ1ถึงข้อ7นะคะแล้วก็ให้ดูว่าเป็นของตัวเองว่านักเรียนเนี่ย read book on the weekend บ่อยแค่ไหนนะคะแล้วก็เอานักเรียนก็เลือกมาเติมใส่แล้วเขียนให้ครบทั้ง7ข้อและเขียนให้ถูกด้วยเข้าใจไหมคะ
เรื่องเกี่ยวกับชีวิตประจำวันของเราอะครับ
ใช่ครับเนี่ยที่ข้อ1ถึงข้อ7เนี่ยตามนี้เลยแล้วนักเรียนก็เลือกมาเติมใส่ always usually sometime never นะคะอย่างข้อที่1 read book on the weekend คุณอ่านหนังสือในวันเสาร์อาทิตย์บ่อยแค่ไหน always usually sometime never เลือกมาแค่1อย่างแล้วมาเติมใส่ใครเข้าใจแล้วยกมือ
แล้วตรงกล่องคืออะไรเหรอครับ
ฟังกรอบเดี๋ยวทีเชอร์ค่อยทวนอีกทีนักเรียนเติมให้เสร็จก่อนให้เวลา
May I go to toilet please
Yes
ให้เวลา5 นาทีลงมือทำเองเลยใครเสร็จแล้วบอกทีเชอร์ด้วยนะ
If you have any question, you can ask, but I think you understand what you need to do.
Finish
Let's wait so everyone can finish. If you finish, you can take a look at the second part of the activity. Okay, you have to use these boxes to complete the second part of the activity. You can read and try to complete this on your own if you finish. If not, I will explain after everyone's finished.
ไอช่องสี่เหลี่ยมอ่ะทีเชอร์ให้เราให้ใส่เครื่องหมายผิดในกิจกรรมที่นักเรียนไม่ชอบทำเข้าใจไหมคะกิจกรรมที่นักเรียนไม่ชอบทำให้กากบาทแต่ถ้าชอบทำต้องติ๊กไหมตอบครูเอก
ไม่ต้องครับ
โอเคถ้าไม่ชอบทำให้ติ๊กกากบาทลงมือทำเองเลยอันนี้แล้วแต่บุคคลเพราะฉะนั้นแต่ละทุกคนเหมือนกันได้ไหมได้ไหมไม่ได้นะเพราะฉะนั้นเป็นของตัวเราเองให้เวลา5 นาที
What about number 1? Who can tell me how often do you do activity number 1? Read books on the weekend. How often do you do that? Sometimes?
Yes. Never.
Can you read the full sentence?
I sometimes read book on the weekend.
Okay, so again, here there is no right or wrong because this is based on your own habits. So what you see on the screen, is not the right answer. It's just an example, okay? I don't want you to change what you have in your book because this is just an example. This is not, there is no right or wrong here. Okay, this is just an example. Don't change anything.
นี่ของทิเตอร์เปล่าคะ
What about play sports after school? How often do you do that? How often do you play sports after school? Who can tell me an example for number 2? How often do you play sports after school?
Always.
Always. Okay, if it's always, it's always. So this is just an example.
Number 2, I
Sometimes you play sport after school. How often do you ride your bike to school?
never.
Never, because you can't drive yet. So I never ride my bike to school. In my case, I always ride my bike to school. I drive my bike to go to school. How often do you eat ice cream on Saturday? How often do you eat ice cream on Saturday?
ข้อ 4 ใครตอบอะไรบ้าง
ผมต้องเขียนตามคุณครูหรือเปล่าครับ
ไม่ต้องลูก
Sometimes.
Who can tell sometimes? Can you read the full answer?
Always. I eat ice cream on the Saturday. It's always.
Okay. I always eat ice cream on Saturday. Okay, I always, or you can also say I eat ice cream on Saturday.
And in the Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday on the weekend. Then in my case, I sometimes eat ice cream on Saturday. There is a Dairy Queen shop next to my house, so I go there and then I buy an ice cream.
ไป3 ยืดเจเบงเอลิตาปีเจจี
What about go shopping with dad? How often do you go shopping with dad?
Sometimes.
Can you read the full answer?
I sometimes go shopping with daddy.
All right.
Mine is sometimes. See, that's my. I very sometimes.
Sometimes, don't say very.
Teacher, I have something to tell you.
What do you want to tell me, Pun?
I never go to shopping with dad.
You never go shopping with your dad? Okay. let's take a look at number 6 now. How often do you wear red shoes to a birthday party? Let's say. How often do you wear red shoes to a birthday party? Do you have any red shoes? Do you have any red shoes at home? Do you use any red shoes?
No.
No. So here, what's the right answer if you don't have any red shoes?
I don't have.
Okay, but we have to use some of these words to complete it.
Never.
Okay, I never wear red shoes to a party. I don't think they will look nice anyway.
Teacher, my hope is not, my shoes are not red shoes.
I don't have any red shoes, neither.
Yes. I don't have. I never have any red shoes too.
I never wear red shoes
No,
to a
teacher,
party.
I have the many black shoes in blue.
Blue, you have blue shoes?
Yes.
Have green and blue shoes as well. And black.
And black.
The black shoes I used to go to school. Okay. What else? Let's take a look now at the next one. How often do you do your homework at night? At night. How often do you do your homework at night?
Sometimes. Never.
Okay, you will answer what's the right thing for you. This is, again, what you see on your screen now is just an example. You have to write your own answers. Now let's take a look at the second part of the activity. What we need to do now, do you see here on the right side of the page, we have some empty boxes. Do you see them here?
Teacher, is this up to you?
So what we need to do now is to circle the sentence about your favorite thing.
I'm not finished.
Did you finish?
Is this up to you? To you.
This is up to you. Okay, so this is based on what do you do. And now what we need to do is to use these boxes to circle the sentence about your favorite thing to do. And then we're going to put an X or a cross next. Okay, I'm going to explain and then wait. And then we need to put an X next to the things you don't like to do. I will show you some examples. Let's take a look at the first one. Do you like reading books on the weekend? If you like it, you are going to make a circle. If you don't like it, you are going to make a cross. Okay?
ถ้าชอบกิจกรรมไหนอ่ะให้ใส่วงกลม แล้วถ้าไม่ชอบกิจกรรมไหนให้ใส่เป็น X เข้าใจไหมคะ
So you are going to use again a circle to mark the sentences about your favorite thing to do. And then you are going to mark with an X the things that you don't like to do. Again, here there is no right or wrong, so answer based on what you like. I'm going to show you just an example, but again, this is just an example. You have to mark your own answers. Again, there is no right or wrong here. Use the circle to mark
เย้ในวิชานี้ก็จบแล้วก็จะไป
the things you like to do, and an X or a cross to mark the things that you don't like to do. Let's wait a bit to see if everyone finish at the same time. Let me know when you finish, and then we will complete the last.
Teacher, it is up to you.
The first part is up to you. It's based on your own habits.
Finish.
Did you all finish?
Yes.
Well, I don't hear anyone else, so I'm going to continue with the last one. Okay, last activity of the day. This one is really, really easy. What we need to do is to match the store and the things you can buy there. All right, so we have here a list of different stores.
Teacher, I finished. I finished ตั้งนานแล้ว I finished number 3. It's easy.
The number 3 is really, really easy. So I'm going to explain for the ones that didn't finish yet. So what we need to do is to first read all the different stores we have: sports store, drugstore, supermarket, bookstore, and then hardware store. So these are the names of the store. What we need to do is to match the things you can buy there. So you're going to take a look at the pictures and match the name of the store with the things you can buy there. You can draw a line or you can write the letter next to the store. Okay, I'll give you, let's say, 1 or 2 minutes to complete, and then we check together, and that will for today. Complete on your own, and we will check.
ให้ทำเองนะคะ ใส่
เสร็จแล้วครับ
จะโยงเส้นหรือว่าจะใส่คำลงไปตรงภาพก็ได้
ผมโยงเส้นนะครับ
โอเคครับ
Ready. Finish.
Let's wait a bit so everyone can finish at the same time, and then we are going to check together.
ชิ้นละ2 บาท
Sports store, drugstore, supermarket, bookstore, and hardware store. Let me know once you finish. Let me see.
I'm not finished.
Okay, don't rush, don't rush. We have some time. I didn't remember, I didn't finish.
ใครเสร็จแล้วบอกทีเชอร์ด้วยนะคะ
Finish. Finish.
Okay, let's take a look at the first one together. Sports store. Who can tell me the right letter so I can see the things we can buy at a sports store?
Do the D.
All right. D. We can buy sport equipment there. So in my case, I wrote the letter, but you can also draw a line. If you want, you can draw a line from the store to the things you can buy there. What about a drugstore? What can we buy at the drugstore?
Paracetamol.
Okay, yeah, we can buy paracetamol at the drugstore. So what's the right letter in this activity? What's the right letter?
นี่หน้ามันเหลือง
What's the right letter for the medicine?
I go to the drugstore to buy
E. Okay. E. So we can buy medicine.
paracetamol, eye drop.
Paracetamol if you have a headache, for example,
Or you can just buy medicine.
or some
syrup.
or some muscle sore, you can buy paracetamol as well. Okay, number 3 is really easy. What can we buy at the supermarket? What's the right letter?
เธอบอกว่าคุณไปร้านขายยาซื้ออะไรหนูบอกพาราเซตามอล
What's the right letter for supermarket? What can we buy at the supermarket?
snack
What can we buy?
snack bread
Snacks,
Water.
bread, water,
ice cream
ice cream. We can buy pretty much everything. Even if you go to the big
Yeah.
supermarkets, you can buy home appliances. You can buy
บรอกโคลี
pretty much everything. Broccoli, yeah, pretty much everything. Okay, number 4, bookstore. What can we buy at the bookstore?
book
See, books. Mostly books. Sometimes it's
Demon
mostly
Slayer book
books and
Demon
magazines.
Slayer
That's what they say. Demon Slayer. Do they have a book for that video game? I'm not sure if they have a book. Okay, and last one, and we finish here. Hardware store. What's the right letter, or what things we can buy at the
B
a hammer? B. Okay, we can buy a hammer, a saw, a level.
yes
So things we use to build, or tools we use to build things or fix things. Okay, that will be all for today. Complete until here. And if you finish, you can close your book.
okay
I will see you again next class. Okay?
bye 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 bye
Bye bye, everyone.
bye 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 bye